In this video, I'm going to show you just how easy it is to use the payment function on Microsoft Excel. And just a quick reminder to subscribe to my channel for more content. Okay, so this screen shows a really simple hypothetical loan. Currently, let's say we owe $500,000 on a loan. It's negative because we owe it. We're paying an annual interest rate of 4%, and we've got 28 years remaining on the life of the loan. Also, at the end of the loan, we're expected to have paid it off, hence the future value is expected to be $0. Now I've put some abbreviations here, the present value, PV for present value. I've got the rate for interest rate, number of periods here, and the future value. Now, why is months remaining 336? And why is the rate 0.333? Okay, so I've said here that the repayment schedule for our loan is monthly. In that case, if our annual interest rate is 4%, then it stands to reason that our monthly interest rate should be 4% divided by 12 months to a year. Likewise, with months remaining, if we've got 28 years remaining, 28 multiplied by 12 is 336. Okay, so we've got our values, PV, rate, net period, number of periods, and the future value. Now we've got the information that we need to calculate our repayment amounts. Okay, so we're going to use a function called PMT, which is payment. And again, what we need here are the rate, the number of periods, present value, future value, and the type, which I'll get to at the moment. And I've put these abbreviations next to these just to show you how easy it is. So the rate, rather than using the annual interest rate, we want to use the rate per period, and the period being monthly. So the monthly interest rate is this one here. The number of periods, again, we're not going to use the number of years remaining. We're going to use the number of periods remaining. Periods being monthly, so 28 multiplied by 12 is 336. The present value, that's the amount that we currently owe, 500,000. And the future value, which you don't really need if you've got these three other values, but I'm going to include it anyway, is $0, which we are expected to have paid off by the end of the loan term. And type, again, this isn't something that you need to include. If you don't include anything here, it will just be assumed that that you're saying the end of period, so a 0 in here. But this is basically when you're making those repayments. Is it at the end of the month, or is it at the beginning of the month? So here I'm just going to assume it's at the end. Okay, our payment amount is $2,476. Anyone who knows a little bit about finance or loans will know that repayment amount includes both an interest component and a principal component. And I want to show you how to break that down. The interest component here, we can find that out using a very similar function, which is IPMT, interest payment. And it's a very similar formula. So again, we're going to use the rate. The second part of this function is period. Now this number in this case can be any number between 1 and 336, which is the number of periods remaining in this loan. It's basically asking which period do I want to calculate the interest component for. So in this case, I want to know how much interest will be paid in the next month. So in this immediately upcoming month. If I wanted to know what the interest component would be in, say, 12 months time, I could put in the number 13 here. So I'm just going to put in the number 1, and then number of periods is 336. Present value, that's the loan amount. Future value, again, I don't need to put this in, but I'm going to. And type, to remain consistent with what I wrote up here, which the assumption was that it's at the end of the period, I'm just going to put in at the end of the period once again. And there we have it. Our interest component of that repayment amount is $1,667. Now it stands to reason that the principal component of this loan, or of these repayments, should theoretically be the difference between 2,476 and 1,667. So let's see if we can do that. Here we can use yet another function, which is principal payment. So once again, I'm going to use the monthly rate. And once again, I want to know what the principal component is for this upcoming month. So I'm going to put in 1 again. And the number of periods, once again, is 336. Present value is 500,000. Future value is 0. And again, to remain consistent, I'm going to assume that the repayments are made at the end of the period. Okay, Now, let's see if these two figures add up. There we go, $2,476. Make sure you hit subscribe below for more content.